I Govinda Gahine, lecturer in mining department at Chhattisgarh Swami Vivekanand Technical University, Bhilai. Today, I will discuss lecture number 15. The topic is board and pillar method. In the board and pillar method, the following contents to be covered. The content is first one is introduction, then condition for board and pillar methods, then terminology, then development process, then panel system, then deplering operation, next method of pillar extraction, next mechanization, etc. So, first I will discuss about introduction. So, this method is sometimes called room and pillar mining. It is commonly used for flat or gentle dipping bedded ores or coal seams. Pillars are left in place in a regular pattern while the rooms are mined out. In many board and pillar mines that are nearly closure, the pillars are taken out starting at the fastest point from the mine, haulage exist, retreating and letting the roof come down upon the floor. Room and pillar method are well adapted to mechanization. Fundamentally, the board and pillar method of mining coal seams involve in driving of a series of narrow headings in the seams parallel to each other and connected by cross heading, so as to form pillar for subsequent extraction either partially or complete. As geological condition or necessity for supporting the surface may permit, ideally the pillars should be square, but they are sometimes rectangular or of rhombus shape, and the gallery surrounding the pillars are inversely of the square cross section. Next, condition and applicable condition for board and pillar method of mining. The board and pillar method is adapted for working. First, a seam thickness should be 1.5 meter. A seam free from stone or dirt band. Stone or dirt band, if present in a seam, can be easily disposed of for strip packing in longwall advancing method of mining. Seam at moderate depth. Next, seam which are not gassy. Next, seam which strong roof and floor which can stand for long period after development stage is over. Next, coal of adequate crushing strength. Then terminology means the terminology which is related from board and pillar method of mining. So, first one is barrier. Sometime that bars or keeps out. Barrier pillar are solid block of coal left between two mines or section of a mine to prevent accident due to inrush of water, gas or from explosion or a mine fire. Next terminology is board. A chamber excavated in coal of a balance in some coal fields, a board is called a room. Next terminology is face. The end wall at the working extremity of any excavation in a mine, the place where a miner works in excavating coal and rock. Next terminology is gallery. A horizontal or a nearly horizontal underground passage, either natural or artificial. Next terminology is gobe. The void resulting from excavation of coal and also meaning the area where coal has been extracted and the roof has been allowed to fall in. Next level, an excavation or pathways driven in the coal, establishing a base from which other working begins. A colliery level does not mean a passageway excavated on a horizontal plane. A level is generally excavated in one or more side incline. Next is percentage extractions. The proportion of a coal seam which is removed from the mine, the remainder may represent coal in pillar or coal which is too thin or interior to mine or lost in mining. Shallow coal mines working under township, reservoir, etc. may extract 50% or less of the entire seams, the remainder being left as pillar to protect the surface under favorable condition. Longwall mining may extract from 80 to 90% of the entire seams. With pillar methods of working, the extraction ranges from 50 to 90% depending on local condition. Next terminology is pillar, a column or body of coal left unmined to support the roof. Then next terminology is roof, strata immediately over a coal seam, rock or coal overhead in any excavation. And next terminology is winning, the excavation, loading and removal of coal or from the ground. Winning follows development. You can see on the figure the square shape is shows pillar means solid block of coal, and the straight line and heading that is gallery, and the between the pillars the four heading are mates, that is called junction, and the straight line is called strike, and opposite of the strike matlab means maximum angle is called dip. Next point is development process. Two set of galleries, one normally perpendicular to the either and driven, forming pillars between them of size that currently depends on depth and size, means width of the gallery. In the present scenes of underground mine development by board and pillar system, mostly square pillar are being formed of size dictated only by depth and width of gallery under the coal mine regulation. You can say on the figure a black square shape is coal pillar and yellow color shows the headings and entry or gallery. Next point is panel system. A group of such pillar from what is known as panel, and one panel is separated from another panel by having solid coal barrier in between in the form of long rectangular pillars. In the panel system of mining, the coal seam is divided into a number of panels separated from one another by solid barrier of coal. Size of panel depends on many factors, two or which are the incubation period for the coal to be extracted and its rate of extraction. You can see on figure, this is a panel system in which the dotted line, cross dotted line shows barrier pillar, and inside the dotted line a square shape shows number of pillars. So, number of pillars are separated by one barrier pillars, that is made by solid coal block. Next is size of the panel. The size of the panel depends upon incubation period of the coal seams, generally varies between 6 to 12 months for Indian coal field. Then depends on the rate of extraction. The extraction rate from depulering districts in Indian coal field average about 250-300 tons per day per panel. The number of pillars varies from 12 to 30. Next, size of pillar. The size of pillar is influenced by first depth from the surface and percentage extraction in the first working of development. Second, strength of the coal. Seam with weak coal require large pillar. Next, the nature of the roof and floor. Next, geological consideration. In the vicinity of fault, large pillar are required. Deep and presence of water also influence the decision as to be the size of pillar. Next, time dependent strain is pillar design. So, in the pillar design, first one is load on pillar. In order to compute the pressure acting on the pillar, the following assumptions are made. First, any elements of ground at a depth d below the surface is subjected to a pressure P 0, which depends on the weight of the super incumbent rock. So, that P 0 is equal to rho d, where rho weight per unit volume of the super incumbent rock. Each pillar supports the volume of the rock over an area which is the sum of the cross sectional area of the pillars plus a portion of the board area, the latter being equally shared by all the pillars. The load is vertically only and it is uniformly distributed over the cross sectional area of the pillar. The load on pillars based on these assumptions that P is equal to P 0 into A plus B upon A the whole square, and R is equal to 1 minus A by A plus B the whole square, where P is the pressure on the pillars, P 0 the inertial ground pressure, A 1 A 2 is equal to the width of the pillar, B 1 B 2 is equal to the width of the board, and capital R is percentage extraction. Next, strength of coal pillar. The formula for pillar strength as modified by Central Mining Research Station is given below. S is equal to R K W 0.46 upon H 0.66 into MPa, where K is in situ strength of 1 feet cube of coal, and R is equal to the load expressed as the ratio of the failure load at which a final king occur in the load determination curve plotted logarithmically and is equal to 0.81 to 0.88 for Indian coals. Point is factor of safety. In the design of pillar, a factor of safety is provided to take care of the error in the computation of strength and load on pillar. A factor of safety of about 1.75 should be able here. Against caution suggests that the factor of safety should be 2.0 to 2.2 if extensive areas are mined and supported by more or less uniform size pillars, then this is the only available approach to the design. Dimension of pillar and gallery at different depth. You can see on the table, left hand side depth is indicated and right hand side where the dimension. For the depth between 60 to 90 meter and the width of gallery is 3 meter, the dimension pillar size by center to center is 12. Same for the depth 19 to 150 meter and the width of gallery is 3 meter and 3.6 meter and 4.2 meter. The sequence of size of gallery size of pillars is 16.5, 19.5 and 22.5, and also you can see on the table the highest seam gallery size is 4.8 meter and the size of pillar is also 9.5, 21, 20.5, 0.5, 34.5, 0.5, 45 and 45. Next is depillaring operation. So, first principle of pillar extraction techniques means depillaring operation also called pillar extraction. So, first principle of pillar extraction techniques. Roof exposure at one time should be minimum in the Indian coal field where caving is practiced. 60 to 90 meter square exposure is normally allowed, but in stowing districts the exposure may be increased up to 90 to 100 meter square. The size of the panel should be such as depillaring can be completed within the incubation period. The extraction line should be so arranged as to facilitate roof control. In practice, diagonal line or step diagonal line of face is common. In special cases, a steep diagonal line of face or even straight line of face has been selected. Diagonal or step diagonal line or face provided protection as the working places are supported by solid pillars and also when the roof caves. There is less risk of groove flushing into the working face. Diagonal line of extraction helps in the caving of the roof. The single lift extraction is limited to height of 4.8 meter or less. If the thickness of the seam is more than 4.8 meter, the extraction is done in multi lifts in conjunction with stowing. Seam up to 4.8 meter thick can be mined by caving in one pass. Whatever the method of extraction, the working area is systematically supported by cocks and props. You can see on figure, this is the figure of diagonal line of extraction. The square form and on the square form numbering is shown. The number is pillars numbers and the extraction line is shown by red dotted line and the green color shows angle of extractions. So, it is the diagonal line extractions figure. Next is step diagonal line of extraction. On figure, the red dotted line shows the direction of extraction by then steep diagonal line of extraction. In the figure you can see the red dotted line is a direction of extraction of pillar and green color shows angle of extraction. And then straight line of extraction. In the straight line of extraction, the extraction direction or line of direction is straight. Next, deplering operations. In deplering operation, method of splitting of pillars. As laid down in the coal mines regulation 1957, during the extraction of pillar, no splitting or reduction of pillar or heightening of gallery shall be affected for a distance greater than the length of two pillars ahead of the pillars that is being extraction or reduced. Where pillar extraction is about to begin in a district, such splitting or reduction of pillar of the heightening of gallery shall be restricted to a maximum of 4 pillars. The width of split gallery shall not exceed the width prescribed for galleries. This is done to reduce the zone of stress concentration for ensuring stability of the working. You can see on the figure the splittings of pillars means the black block is show coal pillars and white line shows the splittings of pillar. Next topic is solid blasting of coal. Both in development and deplering phases, coal can be blasted without giving an undercut by a coal cutting machine. The technique of blasting of the solid is simple, more economical and less hazardous than conventional method of breaking coal with machine cut and blasting. Point remembered while doing solid blasting in coal, to create an inertial cut, holes need to be drilled in inclined position so to provide direction and force for the coal to move outwardly to create free face for other holes. Level action theory. Only P5 permitted explosive and non-incentive copper shot delay detonator shall be used. The pattern of blasting is wedge cut pattern. In a wedge cut, 2 or more holes are drilled so as to coverage at the rear by not less than 0.3 meter. This arrangement provides a concentration of charge at the back. With this pattern, the advance is limited for deep pools. Burden should be reduced by providing steeply inclined hole at the center known as step hole, or by giving another shallow wedge cut known as baby cut. These relieving holes should be fired priorly to the main wedge cut pattern. See on the figure, this is the figure of solid blasting means wedge cut pattern. The drilling line means the drill hole is followed by this pattern by inclination and sometime straight. Next point is mechanization. Mechanizations. In the mechanization, the following mechanization are used, like coal cutting and coal plunging machine, gathering arm loader, shuttle car, HDL means size load, HDL means size discharge loader, LHD means load haul dumps, then continuous manner, then road headers, then conveyors. Next is semi-mechanization by HDL and LHD. In order to keep away with arduous labor or loading coal manually to avoid exposure of person at face and improve productivity, effort are made to introduction of intermediate technology and continuous mining system. As a result, in India, HDLs and LHD have taken foot forward in intermediate technology. The board and pillar method has been predominantly adopted in India for the extraction of coal seam due to shallow depth and good roof condition. Cycle of operation. The next point. The cycle operation is, first one is drilling, second one is blasting, third one is supporting, and last one is coal loading HDL through HDL and LHD. In the drill machines, the drilling machine which are used, this is a electric coal drill machine. After the completion of drilling, we are going for the blasting process. For the blasting process, we are insert the explosive on the drill holes, means the explosive means permitted explosive which are inserted and packed on the drill hole. Then after the charging of explosive, we are blast the hole. After the blasting, the freshly roof are present. So, in the freshly roof we are supports the roof to prevent of collapse. Then after supporting, the blasted coal are loaded by HDL and LHD, and then further it is go for conveyor and from conveyor to surface.